What's up everybody, this is Brent Brown from Forza Tuning and Performance. On this video segment, what we're gonna do is we went from start to finish on how we build the ultimate Hellcat. So it'll be our Stage 4R package. This basically applies to Challenger, which would be Challenger Hellcat, Red Eye, Demon, same basic principle for all the platforms. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so we are underneath the car, and what I wanna do is show you bottom to top how we build the ultimate Hellcat, okay? I'm gonna go over specifics on stuff we do, safety protocols, anything that might help you guys, whether you're going to a different shop, things to look for if you're building your own car, or if you're coming here to try to show you the differences between a good shop and a shop that is maybe cutting some corners. And I'm also gonna show you the specific pieces that we put on the car, the vendors that make the pieces, and why we choose those vendors over other vendors, okay? So let's get started. This particular car is a Challenger Red Eye, and it's our Stage 4R package. And he has added some additional upgrades and options, okay? I'm gonna try to elaborate on some extra things because, you know, I know everybody watches these videos, and you all are really good about providing some positive feedback, and we really appreciate that. And of course, there's the normal people that bitch and complain and want to nitpick everything. So I'm going to try to address that so we can eliminate that. So obviously, this is a 1200 horsepower car. I'll show you the dyno stuff later on. Yes, we know it has street tires. We're not oblivious to that fact. We know that it's not the proper tire for the car. These will be changed. But at this point in time in this video, that's what it has on there. So for any of y'all that are itching to comment on it, shut up. So on to the first thing. We're going to start at the back. There is a lot of talk about the Demon differentials not being good, Hellcat differentials, and so on and so forth, okay? So I want to try to clarify that a little bit and then show you what we do to remedy these problems, okay? So let me start off by saying Dodge did not do a bad job with the Demon differential or anything else. So this is a Red Eye, okay? The Red Eye and the Demon differential are exactly the same structurally, internally. The differences would be the Demon only came in a 309 gear ratio, and the Red Eye you could get in the 262, which was traditionally came in the automatic Hellcat, or you could get a 309 gear ratio, okay? But structurally, they're the same strength, everything else. A couple different things. There are a few different problems that happen when these differentials are breaking, okay? So let me try to lay this out a little bit. The stickier the tire that you put on the car, it is gonna transfer more torque load to the drive line of the vehicle, because instead of just breaking the tires loose, okay, the tires are sticking, you're at a drag strip, you know, where they're really gripping hard, so it can't break the tires loose, so it's gonna transfer the torque load to the weakest point, okay? So this is a very good platform, okay, with a few things that need to be upgraded, okay? So what happens is everybody bitches about the drive shaft, and yes, I agree, the drive shaft is probably not as strong as it should be. So the drive shaft is what I'm gonna address first, okay? We have a few different options. Our package comes standard with a 4-inch aluminum drive shaft from Drive Shaft Shop. Super nice piece, very strong, easily handles 1,000+ horsepower, and that's what this guy has in it. You can also get a carbon fiber version for an extra maybe $700. It is the same strength as aluminum, okay? So the only difference is it's 3 3/4 inches in diameter, and it's lighter weight. Honestly, for the most part, for my own personal car, I'd probably just run the aluminum. This is not like it's a lightweight car, so the weight difference between the two is kind of irrelevant to me, you know, but you can get whatever you want. We also offer an Alcoa 7 two-piece drive shaft that is torque tested to 1,500 foot-pounds. It is basically unbreakable. It is super nice, but it is 3.5 times the cost of the one from the Drive Shaft Shop. So at some point you have to weigh out, do you really need that or do you really want to spend that, okay? So the drive shaft. Now we get back here to this differential that's quote unquote the problematic issue, okay? The differential does not have an internal problem with braking, okay? What happens is when you get sticky tires and you get on a drag strip with a prep surface, the torque load wants to twist the differential, okay? And when that happens what happens is it actually cracks or breaks the backside of the aluminum case, okay? So when that happens, the differential flips sideways, breaks the axles, and so on and so forth. The easiest way to remedy this is put a rear differential brace on here, okay? So there's a few different styles. Obviously this is opinion based, so this is my opinion based off a lot of years of working on cars, and I'm super picky, whether it's something that I put on a customer's car or my own car. So everything that we use here, in my opinion, is the best of the best that's available for the car, okay? So I'm gonna go over piece by piece and why we use that. So performance development, okay? A guy named Bray owns that company. He is a stellar individual and puts a ton of pride in what he makes, and it's evident. So he has a few different braces. He has an economy type brace that is still very, very good. He has a mid-grade brace that's like a billet brace that, again, is perfectly adequate. And then he has this thing which he refers to as a DIRS brace. You can physically look at this thing and see that it is an absolute work of art, and it is substantial. So basically what he's doing is the stock differential mounts in the rear subframe right here, and it has 2 bolts right here, and then it has these bolts right here. And what it does is it's just simply not enough under high torque loads to the torsional load on the differential case on the back of the case wants to crack it. So what he does is he takes this huge billet aluminum piece and he bolts it on, and this piece goes with the center bolt, and the differential does not move. This really takes the entire problem with the differential braking completely out of the equation. We've got some of these cars literally close to 1,500 wheel horsepower and have never even a single time broken a stock differential with his stuff on here. Okay, so it's not the differential. The differential is plenty strong enough. You just have to reinforce it a little bit, okay? The secondary problem to this, and this, we also hear a lot of stuff about broken axles. I have had a couple cars with strip splines, but out of the hundreds of cars we've done, this is literally on a, I don't even think 5 cars, okay? So the stock axles are not bad in this car. A problem with the back of the car is the rear suspension arms, okay? They're very flimsy. It's the same suspension arms that's on like a Challenger RT, and that is the main culprit behind the wheel hop, okay? So for those of y'all, and you know, I don't mean to dummy it down because I know a lot of y'all that watch this channel are car enthusiasts and you're super knowledgeable, but there's some people that don't know what wheel hop is. So wheel hop is typically when you put a drag radial tire on that's sticky, or you're at the drag strip where the surface is real sticky, you take off, okay, and initially the tire breaks traction. When it regains traction, it grabs to the ground, okay, and it's a very abrupt, it's a shock to the drive line. It transfers a tremendous torque load to everything, and then it will pop off the ground and then do it again, okay? So every time that happens, you have a ton of load on all the suspension components, okay? And that's when stuff breaks, okay? So if you're a savvy driver and you know what wheel hop is, and you can react quick enough and let off the throttle, let out of the gas to prevent it from happening, you can sometimes save stuff from breaking. But one of the main culprits from that is the suspension arms, and it's what basically holds the suspension to the frame of the car. Okay, so if these units are really weak and flimsy or stamped steel, and they have the tendency to bend or flex at all, it's almost like a spring, okay? So when the car first takes off, the arms actually spring, and when they unspring like a coil spring, it breaks the tires off the ground. So when the tires break off the ground and regain traction, it's the best thing I can equate it to. I had the car on the ground and I jacked the back of it up with a floor jack. Somebody got in the car and floored it, and I let the floor jack down real quick. As soon as the tires hit the ground, there's gonna be this huge shock to the driveline, okay? And it's going to break shit. So the best way to remedy that is to upgrade these control arms. And there's a few different options out there. These arms are called AAD arms, and that stands for All Angles Design. These are hands down the best control arms that you can get for the Hellcat platform. You can look at these things and they are phenomenal. There's 2 upper arms, there's a lower arm. He makes tow bars that are getting ready to come out in a couple weeks. The quality is just through the roof, okay? It's the strongest arm you can get. And also, when you put the complete package on the car and these tow arms that are coming, which is this arm right here, out in a couple weeks, you're gonna be able to clear a 15-inch wheel. For all you guys that wanna run a 15-inch rear wheel conversion, you don't have to do all that crazy excessive grinding. Literally, you change the rear brakes and the 15-inch wheel bolts right on. Nobody makes a set of arms that come close to doing that, okay? So we put the AAD arms on here. That eliminates the wheel hop, that eliminates the torque load to go to the driveline, and that keeps the axles and differential and everything else from breaking. Okay, so that's basically the underside of it. A few things that I want to point out: this particular car has a lowering package on it. We use a package, a custom setup that KW makes for us that's adjustable. So you'll see the yellow springs in here. Some red eyes, we put the Demon springs on here. That's a common thing. So the car does handle better, and it has a much more aggressive stance to it. Okay. When we do this package, you still have full use of the electronic suspension control, so none of that changes at all. If you're down here, I don't know how close you all are looking, you'll probably see a variety of paint marks, okay? And these are literally everywhere. And what these are, this is our little in-house safety procedure that we do. So every single bolt that's taken loose on the car that any one of the techs do, every single thing has to be tightened with a torque wrench, okay? They are allowed to use an impact to run things down to snug, but every single thing has to be torqued to spec with a torque wrench. At the time that it's torqued with a torque wrench, then it gets marked with a paint marker, okay? So, a couple different reasons for that. Every single car that we do here goes through about 3 thorough safety inspections. The first one before it gets tuned, another one kind of mid-tune, and then the last one before the car leaves. When everybody has the best intentions, you know, at some point after so many safety inspections, you're kind of like, yeah, it's good, and you're not going to want to actually put a socket and a torque wrench on every single bolt. It's just not feasible. So what you can do is with a paint marker, you can see that you're not allowed to mark anything with a paint marker until it has been torqued with a torque wrench. Number 2, if somebody else comes through here and torque checks it and a bolt does not have a paint marker on there, it needs to be checked and torqued and make sure that it's tightened to spec. Number 3, when you deliver this car, okay, and a customer gets it and say he wants to check it out before he takes it to a drag event or a half-mile event, instead of the customer or the customer's mechanic having to go through and trust them to physically torque every suspension bolt on the car, they can make a quick visual inspection by going underneath the car and seeing if all these marks line up. If any of these bolts loosen up at all, you're gonna see that the marks don't line up again. Like, hey, I need to check that, something might come loose, or if you hear a noise that you're not used to hearing or anything like that, this can help you pinpoint the problem right away, okay? So this is something we do on every single car that comes in here. And we do this not only on the stuff that we touch or take apart, we literally go from the front of the car to the back of the car and do every single bolt. It doesn't matter if we touch it or not. Some of these cars come in from other shops that have been built and maybe the quality wasn't as high or the standards as what we require here, okay? So the last thing that we want is the liability on us is maybe another shop worked on something, they didn't get it tight enough or they didn't torque it properly, and even though we didn't have anything to do with it, it leaves and something comes loose, and then somebody think that it could be us, you know? So it's just easier to go through the whole car and safety check it, and then we can deliver the car to the customer and guarantee. Okay, everybody, we're gonna stop right here for now. When we got done filming all this, it was a lot of footage. So we're gonna break it up into 3 sections. That way it's not so long and boring. So we're gonna release them pretty quick. You're not gonna have to wait a real long time. We're gonna get them edited and posted as fast as we can. So we'll stop right here. Okay, everybody, this is something I want to talk about, and we've been posting this on our social media pages. We offer internships for various different departments that we have here. We get a lot of inquiries about this, people wondering how do we get into this type of work. They make comments about the videos, the video quality, and so on and so forth. So we have our own in-house video department, okay? And then we also have the car building and repair and all that stuff. So for any of you guys that are wanting to learn how to get into this business and see what it's like firsthand, whether it's the videography side of things, photography, building videos, or the car side of things, we're accepting applications for internships on all the different departments. So if you're interested or something like this, you feel like it would benefit you in your career path, don't hesitate to drop us an email, and every single one of them will be reviewed, and we'll try to get back with every one of them. But we constantly accept these. So if you think this would help you out, we'd be more than happy to try to share some knowledge with you and help you get your career started in the right path. Okay guys, this wraps up the first section of this 3-part series. Hopefully you found it interesting, maybe learned a thing or two. If you're already a subscriber, thanks for your support, really appreciate it. If you're just now seeing this video for the first time, please give us a chance, hit the subscribe button, check out our videos. If you like it, you find it interesting, hit the notification bell. So guys, see you on the next video.